Good morning, Panther fans. So, so last night on the recap, I'm just going to get this out right now. Last night on the recap, I said there's got to be some kind of record that no team has ever made the playoffs without winning more than 3 games in a row. Because you can technically make the playoffs, win 3, lose 1, right? But you got to figure nobody's ever made the playoffs by not having more than a 3-game win streak. Well, on a comment from last night, Ari, I have to move far away from the screen to be able to still read it. Ari went ahead and asked ChatGPT, and there have been 3 teams that have made the playoffs despite never winning more than 3 games in a row. Now, the 2019 to 2020 Canadians shortened season, but then the 17-18 Avalanche and the 15-16 Flyers all made the playoffs without winning more than 3 games in a row.
Very interesting.
But can we just not test that tonight? How you doing, Stu?
I'm good, bud. Just all prepared to go off on a major freaking rant today. After the first 2 periods, I'm like, this. They're gonna give us this shit,
right?
I mean, they're putting themselves in a position to finally, make that push. They beat Vegas, and it's Chicago,
right?
Like one of the worst, if not the worst team in the league. But they have been playing good. They've beaten a couple of, good teams. So, and it's the NHL, dude. I mean, any team can beat any team on any night.
Yep.
So I thought this was going to be a trap game that we shouldn't take these guys lightly. And I'm telling you, man, they were sleepwalking the first couple periods.
First period was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, bad.
I don't know how you don't get up for every single game. I mean, when did we go to the Vegas game? Tuesday.
Yeah.
So they had Wednesday, Thursday to rest and relax. And, Friday's game night, we should have came out like gangbusters.
Right.
All right, but no. So now we got to do the comeback cat bullshit. And we did it. Thank you, Matthew Tkachuk.
Yeah.
The leader of this team, the man without the C. He was on a mission.
He needed a kick in the ass last night, and that gave it to him.
He was a mission, and man, what can you say? Great hand-eye coordination by Reinhart. That's and Luosterainen's shot.
I know. Luosterainen is.
Hey, dude.
I know. And Bennett had a shot that was in that spot too as well, but Mrazek gloved it.
Snagged it. Yeah.
He snagged it. Yeah.
That's the word. He snagged it. It was like, like that. It was it. But that Luosterainen shot, man, wow. Talk about 1 inch.
I know.
So we go ahead 3-2, and it's close down time. And I really thought it was going to happen. In fact, Tkachuk set up Lundell. I don't know how they lost the puck, but that should have been an empty netter.
Yeah.
Chicago ties it on and Lundell just bounced over his stick. And all right, so we go to overtime.
Right. Yeah, and then the overtime.
Anything can happen in overtime. In fact, that game again, number 1 star, Bob.
Absolute. Yeah.
Coming through every single game. That anybody can, not anybody. All they're talking about is Montour's goal.
Right.
But if you look right before that happened, 2 Chicago players, I think it was Gutman.
Yeah, was it?
And I think I don't know who it was. I think maybe Luosterainen did that Keith Yandel Aaron
Ekblad, he was trying to block the pass.
Let's flop on my belly, and Gutman just went around him, and Bob made a save with his pad. Yeah. And then there was another one that was incredible, where Ekblad deflected the puck, and Bob just got it with the tip of his pad. So Bobrovsky gets first star.
Yeah. And now we have to figure out who's going tonight.
Bob's going tonight. It's not even announced, but I'm going to tell you right now. I don't see him. No way. He's going with Bob.
Yeah, most likely. I agree with that.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, he had 24 shots. He did play obviously extra hockey, but but the thing of it is that like we've talked about this. We put ourselves in such a freaking ridiculous position that you just can't have halves of games like we did yesterday. I mean, that first period was as bad as we've played, and I don't understand. Like you said, I don't understand how they can come out in a game like that. The only thing that makes any close to any sense to me is that they were trying to, and I kind of said this before the game. I kind of felt like since they were putting Bob out there, and Maurice had said that who goes tonight, the second game was going to depend on the workload. And I kind of felt like they were going to kind of come out and just try to play like shut down D and to protect Bob as much as they could in the first game. But that was just, you can see it 30 seconds in. You can see it 30 seconds into these first periods where the other team is just beating us to the puck.
Well, I will tell you what Maurice said in his post game. He said that the pressure is so intense right now on this team that they're tight.
Right.
That they're going into games
with
the pressure.
Right.
And basically what he told them in between the second and third was relax.
Right.
Just, relax, have fun, play your game, be loosey-goosey. And, you obviously saw a different team out there in the third period.
Yeah. Right.
So we don't really think about that stuff. We as fans, you and I as, people that analyze things to the umph degree, we look at it like they're not putting the effort out there, which I'm still going to disagree with Maurice. Okay? Pressure or no pressure, man. That's what these guys live for. But there's a difference between being tight and not putting the effort out like a Ryan Lumberg does every shift.
Right.
You skate your ass off, man. You fight in the corners. You like there was a comment made. Don't know who made it about coasting. That the Panther players were like coasting instead of like driving the net. I wish I remember who said that. I don't know if it was on but maybe I don't know. Maybe it was Randy. But it doesn't matter. I mean, we got the 2 points.
Right.
We're right there. It's ours for the taking.
Well, let's look at that.
I mean, we need help, obviously. The Islanders have played one more game than we have.
Is it only one
by
now?
4 points. Pittsburgh's ahead of us by 2 points, but they got a game in hand on us.
Penguins have 2 games in hand. I don't know that we're catching Pittsburgh. The team we could catch. Well, if we catch Pittsburgh or not, that's going to depend on those 3 games they have against the Rangers. They play. I want to look at this. Pittsburgh plays the Rangers tomorrow, and then they play the Canadiens on Tuesday, and then Thursday and Saturday.
Who's that? Did they play the Flyers today? What is that?
They play the Flyers today, and then tomorrow they play the Rangers. So what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Sunday, right?
No.
So between Sunday and Saturday, they play the Rangers and Penguins play 3 times this week. So, and then when you look at the standings, the Penguins and Rangers are tied in games, and the Penguins. So if the Penguins won all the games, they'd still be a point out of third place. So I have a feeling that the Rangers are going to step up for those games.
Yeah.
Right? Because That would be some
Yep.
crazy crap for them to lose that third seed, but they're not locked and loaded in that third seed just yet. Dude, that's not.
We might get a surprise present today. Philadelphia, if anybody hasn't been following, fired their Chuck Flesher was the president and GM.
Yeah,
he's gone.
Yeah.
So normally when something traumatic like that happens, the players step up.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised to see the Flyers beat the Penguins today.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just saying.
That would be a present, like exactly how you put it.
And then, of course, we have to do our thing.
We have to do our thing.
Like I said a couple of videos ago, doesn't matter what's happening in the rest of the standings, other than the fact that, teams with games in hand could squeak us out by a point or two. We just have to keep winning.
Well, we have to win tonight. And then what I need Panther fans to not do, we're going to have to, as a collective, it's Saturday, right? We don't play again until the 16th, which is...
That's crazy.
But those the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, I mean, I'm going to do it. We're going to do it anyway. But when you look at the standings, don't panic. Because the Islanders play twice. After tonight, the Islanders play 2 more times before we play again. So we could be sitting there going, oh, we're 6 points out, but we're going to have like 3-4 games in hand by the end of the week.
Can you pull up the Islanders now?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me get back to presenting it. So the Islanders, here we go. They play today. They play the Capitals, and then they play the 14th and 15th. They're going out west. So they've got the Kings, Ducks, and Sharks. I've been talking a lot about this.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Kings have been playing good.
Right.
Ducks is and then what's the next?
And then the last one is the Sharks. They've got those.
All right. They don't have it easy.
But a lot of what the issues are is and I talk about this on the podcast a lot. So for those of you who this is double content, I apologize. But I mean, everybody's playing each other. Like the Islanders are playing the Capitals, and then the Islanders are playing the Sabres, and then they play the Capitals again, and the Capitals again. So and you see the Rangers are playing the
Penguins.
Right. So I mean, everybody's playing everybody.
And who are we playing?
Let's see what we got. We got the Jets, and then we have all those days off,
and then that is really big, Eric. Yeah. That in this last 2-3 weeks, we've had days in between games where we've had a chance to it's you think about those back-to-backs that we did on the road, and we lost every second game. The fact that we're getting a couple of days in between, that's a gift.
Yeah,
we get to rest, and we're home.
Right. No,
and ask for a better scenario.
Well, if other teams lose, that's the thing, right? Because we could look at
That's why there's no excuse to lose any of these games on this homestand.
See, the Sabres, the same thing. They play the Rangers today, all right? And then they have 2 more games before we play again. They play the Leafs and they play the Capitals. So we're gonna lose 2 points on somebody on Wednesday. It doesn't matter. And the same thing with the Islanders. So just don't panic.
Yep.
Don't panic this week when it looks like we're going from 2 points out to 4 to 5, because we're not playing. Yeah, so now, of course, if those teams,
we just can't lose this game tonight. This game,
right.
Every game is critical.
Well, this is the big.
We got 3 days off in between after this game.
Right.
We got to win the game.
No, you have to win the game, because if you
in regulation,
right.
Well,
yeah, whatever.
Really
whatever, man. You know what? I don't care if we win 10-9 in overtime, as long as we get 2 points.
Nobody likes overtime. Anything can happen.
I know.
A bounce puck over a stick and it goes the other way. So Let's knock them off in regulation.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I agree with that.
4-1.
Hopefully, Duke is better. I mean, for the love of freaking pancakes and waffles. I mean, we had what? Did we? I think it was just 2 games with Duke and Bennett and Barkov, right? Did we get? I don't think we got 3. I think it was just 2, right? I want to talk about not getting 3 in a row. We can't get 3 in a row healthy. So hopefully Duke is back tonight. And the other thing is, I want to talk about this. Because looking forward to next year, and we've got money and we've got some spaces that we want to fill. I mean, Eetu Luosterainen he's and I talked about this in the podcast. I looked at Verhaeghe's stats from the year, because he was with Tampa before us, and then I looked at Luosterainen. Luosterainen is trending better than Verhaeghe in terms of years played, and so if we go into next season with the top 6 of Barkov with Luosterainen and Duke, and then Bennett with Tkachuk and Verhaeghe, and that's the top 6, and then we can fill in from there with Lundell and Reinhart already start. We could almost start to put together what we had last year again. But I want to say this, because next year is going to be last year, because we're going to have money and it's going to be all timed out right. But don't get married to it, because after next year, the season after that, right now we have 5 skaters under contract. And ain't no way we're going to pay Forsling and Montour and Lundell and Luosterainen and we're never going to keep all of these guys. It's not mathematically going to be possible. So next year is going to be last year, but that's our shot.
Unless Zito doesn't go nuts and bring in a $9 million guy, whoever that might be. I say focus on your guys. Forsling is a must.
Yeah, but
Montour is a must.
Yes.
Luosterainen, obviously, I don't know when his contract's up, but he's a must.
Right.
Gudas, I think, will stay for $1 million, $1.25 million. You don't give up on that guy. I mean, look what he did last night. Did you see 2-3 punishing checks?
Stu, I'm going to stop you right now. But Bill already came out and said, I hope we can keep. Bill's quote, paraphrasing, was, we've already had discussions with Gudas, and we'd love to keep him if we can. That's exactly what he said about Claude Giroux's people. That means Gudas wants to get paid. And how can you look at Radko Gudas and say you're not worth what Erica Branson's getting? And he got $4 million. And I mean, I love Gudas. I agree with wanting to keep him, but that what Zito already clued us in, that Gudas wants to get paid, and I don't know, But I tell you what would if Luosterainen can stick on that top line, that gives us money for Gudas, because then we don't have to go out there and fill a top 6 hole.
And he can.
Right. So
I talked about it the other day when we were doing the Verhaeghe comparison, and I said Luosterainen is just a more complete player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just going to throw this out there. I don't know what the guy makes, and I'm telling you, he's the one guy when, people ask, like, what defenseman, and I've always said Dunbar or whatever, because this guy was kind of on the radar for me, and I'll tell you the game that clinched it.
Well, who is it? So I'll look up his contract while you're talking.
Zadorov in Calgary. He is a mean MFer. And I remember that he was playing for Colorado, and he leveled one of our guys. And
yeah.
I don't remember who it was, but I said that's a younger version of Gudas. So
Zadorov is, where is he? What age is he? He's 27. Good Lord Almighty. He's 6'6", 235. Holy crap.
He's an animal, man. And he can score.
He is signed this year and next year with Calgary at a cap hit of 375.
Unbelievable.
So after that, he is going to be looking to get paid if he's as good as you.
But you know what? He's the guy to go after.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean,
market guys. I just said it. He's a guy to go after. If Gudas is in his 30s,
he's 32, I think.
Okay. If we lose Gudas for whatever reason, Zito's got to make a play for Zadorov, and I don't know what he.
You think Calgary is going to trade with us again, bro? After what we pulled this last year, they may have Bill Zito's number blocked. Yes, screw that guy, and the dude with plays with puppets. Screw them both. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? you only go back to the X so many times. Sorry, I know that might have burst your bubble, but I
was just thinking, man, how come Zadorov wasn't? How come Zito didn't get Zadorov thrown in on that trade?
Who knows?
Anyway,
maybe.
Guys, I'm telling you, that guy is. I mean, I've watched him since that Colorado game. Every time I have an opportunity when the game is on TV, I always zero in on this kid. Even he scored a goal against us when they came here,
right?
And I watched him the whole game. He's a younger version. He's a mean. He's a guy you want to have on your team.
Yeah. Did Calgary draft him? Let me see. No. Where? Let me look at his contract.
I don't remember. He came from Colorado. I remember him playing for Colorado.
Actually, his original team was Buffalo. That's his original team. Yeah, and then he came. Okay. Yeah, he was in Buffalo. That's original team that drafted him was Buffalo. And then he did 1, 2, 3, 4 years either with them or in their, on his ELC. And then you're right. He went to Colorado for 2 seasons. And then I guess he left and Colorado didn't want him and he's with Calgary now. So, yeah. But originally it was good thing. How we would like to play him in Buffalo, right?
What's his stats for the year?
Hold on a second. That's a different page. Let me see. Let me look that up real quick. Sorry, it takes me.
And no, I don't think Calgary is trading him.
Oh, why did it give me that? That's not who I want. Hold on. It gave me. I looked up. It changed it on me. Okay, here we go. No, this is not him.
Nikita Zadorov, right?
No, it keeps giving me Fedorov. All right, let me type his whole damn name in. Jeez. There we go. All right, let's see. Yeah, 6'6". Now he's gained weight. Now he's 6'6", 248. Crying out loud. He's got 9 goals and 5 assists. But he's a defenseman. So I mean, and he's a lefty.
Left shot.
He's a left shot. Yeah, he was the first round pick of Buffalo in 2013. He was the 16th overall pick in 2013. So he's been around.
All right. Well, like I said, keep that name in the back of your heads.
Yeah. We'll have to trick them. We'll have to do a 3-way trade. Like Bill calls like Montreal, right? And then Montreal calls Calgary and is like, so you want to make? And then next thing you know, wait a minute, not Florida screwed us again. We'd have to sneak in the back door somehow.
By the way, so I'm watching, my morning NHL Network game reviews, and John Torchetti, who was our coach for a cup of coffee,
right?
And the female commentator, they were talking about Montour and how Montour basically, that's why Zito was able to give Uyghur up because
right.
The only mistake they made is saying Montour is the number 1 defenseman, which he's not, but the monster season that he's having.
Yeah.
12 goals. He's got 53 points. So
yeah.
And then Forsling, man, just got to get those two guys locked in. I think Zito knows that's a priority, and then and you can deal with the forwards.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree there. Look, we'll get it figured out. But just when I've been looking at everything, I'm looking at next year. I'm thinking next year can definitely be last year. And let's be honest, if he puts together a roster next year like last year's, and they still can't pull it off, at that point, you'd be going into the following season with Bob at 36 years old. So I don't know how much longer we have a Bob playing like this. You know what I mean? I don't know how he's playing like this now from what we saw at the beginning of this season. I don't
It's incredible the turnaround, but it's confidence, and I just think he's in his zone, right, game after game, and he knows he's the man.
Right.
I think he knows that he's the man.
Right.
And talk about Tkachuk and leadership and whatnot, but Bob, those guys really know that when he's on, and they don't have to, worry that we're going to be down 3-4 goals in a game, and it's
right.
So
right.
The other thing that Torchetti mentioned was that we're winning games 2-1, 3-2. That and that last year with the playoffs trophy, blah blah blah, we had a different way. So he's mentioning the fact that there's a new system, playoff hockey, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So
well,
they better come out from the opening whistle tonight. They better just show some effort.
Yeah, no, there should be no reason to leave any gas in the tank. You go out there, you block shots, you do the whole thing. You've got plenty of time off after that.
Yeah, and then we need a couple of quick. I will tell you. You look at the history with Winnipeg Jets, especially in Winnipeg.
Right. Yeah.
This is a tough team against us.
Yeah, it is. And let's see where they are.
They've always been tough against us.
They are in the Western Conference has spread out a little bit. They've lost 2 in a row. They're not really in too much danger of losing the 8th seed, but they are the 8th seed. Now, the Predators have 3 games in hand and are 6 points out, but they've lost 2 in a row. And the only other team that's remotely close are the Flames, but the Jets have a game in hand and a 4-point lead. And I just knocked my headphones
I don't
off.
like the fact that they've lost the last 2 games, which means they're going to come out real strong tonight.
They're good. They're hungry, and they've lost 2 in a row. They're 2-6-2 in their last.
Kyle
10.
Connor, he's a Panther killer. Morrissey's a Panther killer. Wheeler, Scheifele.
Right.
They got some really good players, man. We better be on our toes.
It's incredible how Florida and Calgary are almost in the exact same positions. We're a little bit, we're in a little bit better shape, but I mean, we've got 1 more point than them in the same amount of games played. You know what I mean? It's crazy how both teams made those deals. And I mean, we can certainly sit here and feel like we won the trade. I know we're happy with our return. I know Calgary fans are not real thrilled. They like Uyghur, right?
Yeah. I mean, if Huberdeau has a comeback year next year, I just think it was just the culture shock of going from, sipping champagne in his pool in 85-degree sunny weather to shoveling out his driveway in his new Ford Bronco or whatever. I think that just his head was blown getting traded.
Look, and we talked about this, but I mean, it's not like somebody said on Twitter, it's not like he traded himself, right? I mean, not only did he not want to go, but he only got moved because basically, I mean, if you really wanted to boil it down, Huberdeau had his life blown up because Tkachuk kind of just pulled a power move, whatever words you want to use to say, I don't want to be here, right? So There's no way that those thoughts don't run through your head as a human. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can't cry about a guy making $11.5 million. I'm sorry.
I'm not crying about it.
No,
But
I'm just saying. We can feel bad. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad because one of our top players, a core player, did not show up in the playoffs.
Right.
Same thing with Barkov, but Huberdeau was our leading scorer last year, right?
Yeah, points wise, yeah. Not goals. But points,
what did he do in the playoffs?
Right. Yeah, I know.
And that's when you got to suck it up and show your true worth. Kachuk's got 84 points, the most in Panther history for first-year player.
I'm still gonna now. He only has 1 goal in the last 13 games, though. So
whatever.
Come on, Matthew. I know you're missing the point, bro. You're going so fast, you're missing the point. I said it. I pulled last night. I pulled on Twitter what I did with Ekblad years ago. The only difference was Kachuk didn't like this tweet. Years ago, Ekblad, and after the second period, I ripped him an ass on Twitter. He liked the tweet and during the intermission, and then went out and scored 2 goals and won the game. Well, last night, I ripped Kachuk kind of softly. I just mentioned he only got 1 goal in the last 12 games after the second period. And sure enough, he went out there and shoved it right down my ass in the third period.
So that's the point you were talking about.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay,
yeah.
I got you.
Yeah,
16 points in 16 games is very doable.
Right. Yeah. And with no goals. That's the incredible part.
I'm certainly expecting him to hit the 100-point mark.
Yeah. Well, if we're going to make
a few goals would be nice. Where's he at now, goal-wise?
I think he was still at 28 because I looked last night.
That's what I thought. So
yeah.
Let him get his 2 goals tonight and get it out of his system and say, F you, Eric, F you, Jaws.
Right. Now, it would have been better if he would have liked the tweet, because at least with Ekblad, I knew that he knew that I knew that he knew. You know what I mean?
What was he doing on Twitter during the game?
I don't know, but this was years ago. I mean, I was doing the videos then, but it might have only been like my second or third season. And he liked the tweet in the middle of intermission. And then I made a post-game tweet and he liked that too. And then later on that summer, he blocked me, but that's a different story.
So maybe, somebody was on Twitter last night and, hey, you're not going to believe this.
You're not going to believe this.
Hey, Chucky, you're not going to believe this. This a-hole on Twitter,
right.
This guy Jaws, and he's saying something about you not scoring and like, okay.
Probably Ekblad. I know Ekblad still stalks me. I love you too, kid. It's all right.
All right, so Chucky, if you're watching this, shove it up.
Come on, dude. I do this specifically so you guys have motivation to make me look bad. I mean, I set you guys up beautifully,
Chucky hat trick tonight.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Chucky, we need some hat. You need a new wardrobe of hats.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. And the first period too. Can we get it out of the way in the first period?
Listen, I just for me always feel like in the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that's the tone the team sets. Really in the first 5 minutes. I mean, how many games have we seen the Panthers come out flying? I mean, so many games this year we came out flying and had nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
Where we just totally dominated teams and, a goal or two went in and we were sunk. But I just want to see some effort tonight. I want to see the effort that these guys realize that every game is critical, that you can't take any team lightly, and you got to go out and work hard and earn the 2 points.
Right. And hopefully Duke comes back. So let's do a second to turn off his phone.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. What's that?
Talk.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I got you. Anyway, I'm getting ready to close up the video anyway. So that we're good. We're good. Come out hard, Bob. we can't overwork Bob. That's the last thing I'll say is that we
Yep.
cannot overwork Bob tonight. And Winnipeg is we're gonna have to match their energy coming in because yeah, they've got that 8 seed, but it's a tenuous hold on that 8 seed that they have. So I expect a rock'em sock'em night. And a lot of times against these Western Canada teams, it ends up being like really, really rough and chippy out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised to see some of that tonight. And I just want to go to Twitter. I just want to see that Duke is back. That's all. Just please. My heart can't take this, man.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, as it was, the Vegas game was the full third period of just holding a 2-1 lead, right? And then last night we come back and then we let them tie it, and then overtime, like you said, anything could happen. We couldn't.
By the way, all credit goes to the puck hog on that play. I mean, Verhaeghe, not only getting the puck, but dishing it off to Barkov, and obviously Chicago forgot that Montour had fallen in the corner and got up.
Yeah. And
that was just like that was a desperation.
Yeah, he just last thing
that wasn't even a shot. That was like a reactionary move.
Right. And
Mrazek was like,
oh, he couldn't believe it.
And the best one, excuse me, was Seth Jones.
Yeah, as
you have to watch the replay. Seth Jones went like this.
Yeah, he's like that.
Did you see that?
Yeah. I saw it. I was there with Kyle watching it, and yeah, he just couldn't believe it. And especially after Mrazek, as time expired, he stoned Mark Stahl twice. Stahl has the shot, the rebound goes right to his stick, and he shoots it again. And you're thinking, oh, geez, Mrazek is a guy that can do that.
But Bob doesn't make that save in overtime.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah,
there ain't no Montour goal. So
right.
That's off to Bob.
Yep.
All right.
Colin and I'll be back 15 minutes before game time tonight. It is cold in this room. It got cold again. This sucks. March is colder than February. I want to go fishing, and it's 40 degrees. It was snowing this morning. Flurries. Yeah, I know. All right. Appreciate all the support. We'll see you again later tomorrow and tonight and tomorrow.